Hey everybody, Michael here from Replica Airguns. Today we've got the Umarex HK 416 A4 Gas Blowback Airsoft Rifle. I've already dropped it. Got a little bit of stuff went flying into my cabinet. Put a chunk out of it. But anyways, it did pretty good. I think that's mostly paint that I can get off there. Yeah, anyways, we're going to do the tabletop video in my chair this time. I just can't get it on the table. It's a little bit too big of a long gun to do that, so we'll do it in the chair here. So I got to read off my cheat sheet a little bit here. Make sure I don't miss anything. There's a lot of specifications, details, pros, and cons to go over in this video. There's not going to be any shooting. Obviously, this is the tabletop video that will be followed up with an actual field test shooting video because we're going to want to shoot this bad boy. Being gas blowback, they're some of my favorite guns to shoot. Maybe not as practical in airsoft, war that you're doing, but unless everyone's using gas blowback guns, then it's a little more fair. But it does have a 30-round magazine, and it's it's gas, so it is prone to cool down and all that stuff. And you're going to have to spend a fair bit of money if you want to get extra mags. So that's something to factor in. But if you want ultimate realism, this is the way to go. If you want something that's going to replicate a real steel AR type rifle, then this is the way to go. You got your recoil. You got the realistic amount of rounds in the magazine, all of that stuff, and it's going to just work so much more similar. The trigger is going to feel more realistic because it's an actual single action trigger. It's not an AEG electrical on-off switch, so it's going to just feel a lot more realistic. All right, now this gun is available in our Canada and our US Replica Airgun stores. Depends on the time you're watching this video. Like, this is a hot item, and we don't always get a ton of these in because it is an expensive gun. So if it's not in stock, just keep an eye on it there, and hopefully we can bring it back in stock for you. And hopefully it's in stock if you are interested in buying it. I'll put links in the description of this video to buy it. All right, let's go over some of the specifications. It's distributed by Umarex and made in Taiwan. It's based on, of course, the AR or M16 platform. It's basically semi and full auto selectable. So let's give you an idea of that. So what I'm going to have to do is just hold down the bolt release because we don't have any rounds in here. As soon as you put rounds in here, the bolt release will automatically kick in, but I can just hold it on the back side here and it'll just cycle, right? If I want to go full auto. I love that. Love the recoil. I could do that all day, but I won't. We'll get on with the specifications. All right, so it's a single action trigger again. And it uses 6mm plastic airsoft BBs, has a 30-round magazine that holds the airsoft BBs and the gas. So there's basically a little port here where you put your gas in. That's how I got mine in. I don't think there's any real other way of doing it, but you could use green gas, you could use propane. There's different types of gases you can use. This gun weighs, it's mostly all metal, so it's got a good weight to it. It weighs in at 7.75 pounds or 3.5 kilograms. The total length is about 31.1 to 34.4 inches, depending on the butt. The stock, how far out you put it. So if you have it all the way out, it's going to be at its maximum 34.4 inches, which is 88 centimeters, or 31.1 inches, which is 79 centimeters. Again, depending on the stock position. The barrel length is, I think I've got this wrong. I think it's 15.4. I've got 115.4 inches. I don't think the barrel's longer than the gun, so I must have typoed. I'm going to say 15.4 inches or 39 centimeters. That's what I've got. So 39 centimeters, whatever that works out in inches, probably 15.4. It is non-rifled. Has a claimed FPS of 400, so it's got some oomph, and that's using 0.20 gram airsoft BB, so not the 0.12 or the 0.12s. And it has pop-up removable single aperture metal PEEP rear sight, which is adjustable for windage and elevation. And it has a pop-up front sight as well. So you just pull this out, right? So it's a metal sight on the front. And then you have the pop-up one on the back, which is adjustable for windage and elevation. It's a PEEP style sight, and you can pop that up and down. This is it just mounts on the Picatinny rail, so you could take that off. You could put a different sight on the back. I think the front sight would be a little bit more difficult to put on and off, but you could remove it for sure and maybe put a standard iron sight on the front, or put a red dot or anything you want. You've got rails all over this gun. You've got your typical quad rail here on the front, so nice. Lots of mounting options. So you've also got options for slings as well, both sides, right? And even on the front, you've got some options for sling mounting there as well. What else we got here? Okay. Again, the 6-position collapsible stock. It's a slimline telescopic butt stock. And it's also full H&K license via Umarex, which is nice, and KWA derived proprietary gas blowback system. So it says KWA derived, so we're going to say this is a KWA gun, and that's not a bad thing. KWA makes really good products. If you're not sure why we're talking KWA's building it and it's an Umarex gun, Umarex oftentimes, with a lot of their products, they basically are the distributors, so they provide the licensing. KWA doesn't own the H&K licensing, so they are technically not allowed to sell it with this gun with the H&K licensing. They may sell a similar version of this without any licensing, but if you want the HK licensing, you're going to have to go through Umarex, and that's how they get around it. I wouldn't say get around it, but they pay for the licensing, and they can sell guns that have HK licensing. That's just one of the licenses that Umarex owns. And it also has a realistic hard kick blowback, which you saw when I demoed it there. It's got a nice little shoulder tap. Not crazy, not as much as a real steel gun, but definitely decent. And it also has precision CNC machine free float quad rail, which I showed you. I'll show you around this gun in a little bit here. We'll get up close to the screen there with camera lens and you can get a good look at it. And it's got the HK 416 handguard. It's full-length Picatinny top rail for optics and other barrel tactical accessories, so nice long top rail. It's not a one-piece, obviously, because the receiver is separate from the front quad rail, but it looks like it's just a continuous rail. Has a functional bolt catch release, steel bolt carrier. So it's essentially it functions and it disassembles just like a real steel AR. And I'll show you. I'll take the top and I'll separate the top and bottom receiver, and I'll show you that. You can see the actual bolt carrier when I do that and all that buffer tube stuff. So it's got this improved tool-less adjustable hop-up design. I'm not sure how that works. I was kind of taking a look at it and I couldn't really see how to do that, but I'm sure the manual would show us that. And that's one thing I haven't really gone over yet. I haven't gone over. We'll do that now. We'll show what comes in the box. Obviously the gun and the magazine. You have a speed loader, of which mine is bent a little bit. I don't know why, but you can see mine got bent. So that's not going to work as good. I'm going to have to try and unbend this on my time. But that'll help load rounds into the magazine. If you can. So hopefully yours isn't bent. I'm not really sure what happened to mine. This makes me scared. I'm going to have to put it in a vise or something and bend it back. But it'll work. It just makes it makes pushing this in a little bit more difficult than it needs to be because it's slightly bent. Well, that's unfortunate. Not sure what happened there. Maybe in shipping or something. Got a little knocked around. So you do have a nice manual that comes with it. It's H&K branded as well and licensed. Inside it's got some parts diagram. Sort of goes over some of the parts. Talks about how to work the safety, which I'll show you in a second. How to work the magazine release. How to fill the gas. Shows you how to load it with an actual straight loader, but ours is crooked. So theirs isn't crooked in the picture, so I'm assuming that's not the way they all come, crooked like that. Talks a little bit about adjusting the fire selector. Of course, we talked about pulling the trigger, obviously. How to aim it. It's a little sight thing showing you where to have the sights lined up. I think most of us know that by now, but they're assuming that we're all idiots, I guess. How to work that rear sight and adjust it if you're not shooting on target. Okay, so there is a tool, and I don't know where that tool is. Maybe it's in the box. There is a sort of tool. It's called the hop-up key, and I don't know where mine is at the moment. Maybe it's in the box. But so there's a hop-up key that goes when your bolt is open. When your dust cover's down and your bolt is open, you can then adjust the hop-up by turning the hop-up key. And so it's basically right at the front. So let's pull this back. So if you've essentially put the key in the front, I believe. Let me double check that because I'm assuming it goes in the front. Yes, it goes in the front, and you turn the key up or down to adjust the hop-up. So I'm going to have to go looking for that hop-up key. Again, I would assume yours would come with it. I didn't totally look in the box for everything, and I don't see it here in the bag. So I'm hoping it's in the box. Okay, that's enough of the manual. You get the gist of that. What I really want to do is show you around this gun, and then we'll we'll talk about pros and cons, and I'll do a little bit of a teardown of it real quick as well. So again, here's that rear sight. It's fully adjustable, right? You've got your stock here that's adjustable, right? Nice. I like that. Just is fun. So you got your dust cover. Obviously, when you pull back, it opens up. Bolt catch closes it up. You've got forward assist, right? You've got the quad rail on the front. Okay, lots of mounting positions here. You've got your ambidextrous selector. Okay, and I've already showed you that. You've got, of course, single action trigger. You've got a magazine release right here in the typical position. Nice heavy magazine. It's got really good weight. Again, you'd load up the gas on the bottom, right? I'm just use propane. I find it's the cheapest way to go. I just use something like this with an adapter, okay? And then it's pretty straightforward. Upside down, and you just wait until you hear the gas stop making noises. Once the gas isn't going in anymore, it gets quiet, you're done filling her, and you're ready to shoot some more. There's your front sight. Okay. You do have a barrel tip here, or a flash hider that is on this particular one is painted this beautiful orange, but you could put any one on, or you could just paint over this if you want. It is removable. You can put it's threaded for a silencer, I believe, as well. Take a look at the other side, right? There's your bolt catch, bolt release. All right, let's take it apart. See how I do there. I gotta do a few things here to get it out. You just gotta take these pins out. I should give them a whack so I don't have to scratch it up. And then I just push them through. Push it through. Okay. And what's nice is these pins don't just fall out. They sort of go to that position where they're as far out as they're going to go. And then you can pull this apart, right? So then you can take a look at your bolt assembly, all metal, right? Don't let that fall out. And then you've got your buffer tube here. It's just like a real steel AR. It really is. And it's all metal receiver, top and bottom. Doesn't get any more realistic than this, in my opinion. Super easy to put back together as long as you line it all up. Right? Just get that in there. And you're good. We're back together, right? We're ready to rock and roll. Yeah. Again, I could do that all day, but we won't. Okay, so let's go over some of the pros and the cons. You've seen it around the gun pretty close. Hopefully that was close enough. Again, I'm looking forward to shooting this gun, so that's going to be the real test. I can't really talk too much pros and cons about how it performs, but I can definitely talk about what I see here on the paper, what, you know, for specifications, for how it feels, all those types of things. So it's a gas blowback gun. You know, it's the most realistic you're going to get. If you want realism, that's the way to go. You know, you get all the blowback, you get the recoil, everything more true to life in terms of magazine rounds in the magazine. So it's the most realistic thing you can get to the real steel gun. And shoot it in your garage or shoot it in your backyard or whatever. Have some fun, right? You can't take a real AR out and shoot it in your garage or your backyard. This one you can. Just make sure your neighbors are on board with what you're doing. That's fine. Tons of metal all over this rifle, weighing in at almost 8 pounds, so it's got great weight to it. Very heavy gun. Lots of accessories, mounting options with the Precision CNC machine quad Picatinny, top, side, and bottom rails. Fully adjustable metal pop-up sights. It does have that H&K licensing via Umarex. I don't have it here, but I like the fact that it actually is, it says in some of the information that it is KWA, made in the KWA factory. So that's a good thing because they make really nice products. It also has that 6-position adjustable AR compatible rear stock, and that threaded barrel can attach a silencer, so you can pull this off, put a silencer on there, a mock silencer, mock suppressor, and you can field strip this again, just like a real steel AR. So I mean, lots going for this gun. Really, really well made. Solid gun, again, made by KWA, so you can't go wrong there. A few cons. Low magazine capacity as compared to an AEG, and it will be subject to cold weather conditions. So, you know, all the gas guns, whether they be CO2 or propane or green gas, In a cold environment, the guns cool down even quicker. They sometimes won't function very good or get very good feet per second velocity. So keep that in mind. Shoot it in a little bit warmer environment. It will work a little better. And this gun is an expensive gun. It's very expensive. I'm not going to even mention it, but you could check out the price. It's in the top end. Usually, almost all of these blowback gas airsoft rifles are going to be up there in the several $100 range. So, you know, don't be surprised by the price. It is up there. All right. So again, stay posted for the field test shooting video for this rifle. That's going to be a lot of fun to make. It will be coming up as soon as I can get to it. It's probably one of the guns I'm going to try to do quicker than some of the rest. I usually do the ones I like the most first when I get a bunch in. So this one will be definitely at the top of the list, and I'll be doing the field test pretty soon for it. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out our Canada and US replica airgun stores over replicairguns.ca for Canada and replicairguns.us for the US, where we have air guns, BB guns, airsoft guns, pellet guns, blank guns, and other accessories, and links in the description of this video to buy this in Canada and the US. All right, until next time, take care.